If you're wondering why you're not getting referrals, what is going on inside your business, if you are getting referrals, it is very likely that you're doing a great job. Hi, and welcome back. I'm delighted to be here with you today. So let's talk about referrals. Let's talk about a system. What does it take to be referable? How do you know that you're referable? How do you know that people want to refer to you? Why don't they refer to you? Why are you not receiving referrals? I'd like to answer some of those questions today. My name is Michèle Soregaroli. I work with professional services providers and I specialize in differentiation, and part of that is becoming referable. So let's talk a little bit about assessing your referrals first. Assuming you've been in business for a while, enough so that you have a network that could likely refer to you because they're familiar with your business. If they're not familiar with your expertise, they're not familiar with your offer, they're not familiar with your business, that's a little bit of a different model in terms of generating referrals. But let's assume, starting with today, that you are already in a business that has got some background and you do have a network of previous clients and people who are familiar with your work. So I want you to think about your referrals currently. If you are currently receiving referrals, that's an excellent sign. It means that if you are receiving referrals, that you likely have something around trust going on in your relationships. If people are referring you business, it generally means that you are trustworthy and that they trust you to deliver something that is consistent with what they believe they experienced. So you likely have an offer where there is some trust, some predictability, some consistency if you're receiving referrals. If you're receiving qualified referrals, that tells us a different story. Qualified referrals tell us that your positioning is also very good, that the type of clients that you're attracting are the ones who actually who are being positioned for your services. So not only do your clients who are referring, your network who are referring, not only do they understand your offer, but they also understand the type of client who's going to most benefit from your offer. If you are receiving unqualified referrals, that's a different indicator. That tells us there's something wrong with your messaging. If you're receiving unqualified referrals, it simply means that your network, your past clients, and even the people who are currently referring, they do not really well understand the type of client that is going to get the greatest value from your services. It probably means that your offer has grown. Maybe your offer is different. Maybe you've developed more expertise. Maybe the type of client has become somewhat different from the type of client that you used to work with. But regardless, if you're not receiving qualified referrals, there's something around your messaging and the way that your network is perceiving your work that is inhibiting their ability to refer you a qualified candidate. So in terms of referrals, we covered a couple. There's basically 3 essential questions that you want to ask yourself. 1, am I getting referrals? If you're not getting referrals, that tells us there's something wrong with how predictable your offer is, how consistent you are, whether or not they deem you to be referral worthy, and whether or not your market can trust you to deliver a quality product. So if you're not getting referrals, there's some questions there for you to consider. If you are getting referrals and they are not qualified, we now understand that there's something to do with your positioning, your messaging, and how your network understands your work and what type of client they think is going to get the most value from your work. The third thing around referrals is if you are getting referrals and those referrals are frequent and highly qualified, it is very likely that you're doing a great job in terms of establishing the relationship that is referral worthy or trustworthy, so that your network feels confident and comfortable referring to you. And secondly, they understand the type of client who's going to get the greatest value from your work. So when you're looking at referrals, if you're wondering why you're not getting referrals, or if you're wondering why your referrals are not quite what you anticipate, there are likely some indicators there that would tell you what to look for. The other thing around referrals that I want to highlight here is if you're not getting a lot of referrals, there's another side to this, that maybe you are not an active referral source yourself. Maybe you have not become a masterful referrer where you refer others' business. So in order for you to understand what it takes to receive referrals, it's very important for you to understand what it takes to give them as well. You will have a much greater sense of empathy and understanding what's going on for the person who is making the referral. So there's a couple of things in play that you do want to be considering at all times, and it's the indicators that your referrals tell you. Now, if you're brand spanking new in business and you haven't yet got a network that is familiar with your work or past clients who are familiar with what you do, then your referral generation is going to be a little different. I'm assuming for the purposes of this video that you actually have a network that is familiar with your work already. And this is where you get to go into the analysis of your referrals, your frequency, and your referral sources, and the quality of your referrals to tell you some indicators of what's going on in your business. So that's the first thing. The second thing, in terms of the type of referrals, you want to also be thinking about how you are opening the door to referrals. It is very, very common in my experience to see that, especially in professional services, we tend to get busy. And it's a good thing to be busy. It's a good thing to have wait lists. It's a good thing to be popular. It's a good thing that you have a lot of clients, right? And so we want people to know that our business is successful, and we want them to know that everything is going really great. The problem with that is there's some perception of scarcity, right, in terms of your work. So how much of you is available for your network? If someone refers you business, are they going to be concerned that that's going to impact their experience of your work with them? In other words, taking time away from them. Instead of working with them, you're working with their referral if they're a current client. So that does happen. So being aware of that. Because they, again, don't want to take time away from your ability to deliver them a great product or service. So there's something there to be thinking about. And then the other piece is around if they refer to you and whether or not you are able to deliver. So if you give the sense that you are busy, be careful that you're not giving the sense that you are so busy that you're closing the door to referrals by accident, just simply by the perception that you're creating, that you actually are so busy that maybe you are planting a seed that you don't have room for new clients. So depending on what kind of referral flow you want and what kind of frequency you want and what kind of capacity you have, be aware of whether or not you're closing the door by accident. That's one of the things that is very, very common, especially in a successful professional services practice. So these are a few things to be aware of. First, in referrals, is your door open? Do people know that you have capacity and that you are ready to receive referrals from them? Secondly, are you receiving a steady stream of referrals? And if not, why not? What's going on there? And are you receiving a steady stream of qualified referrals? If they're not qualified, there's something going on there as well. So these are just some things to think about in terms of the analysis of your business. And of course, these are all related to how you differentiate your offer as well. Your positioning, your messaging, the kind of experience your clients are having in terms of, are you creating clients who gush? Are you creating clients that want to refer you because you're so good at what you do? They just want everyone in their network to experience that goodness. What is going on inside your business in terms of your client relationships and your delivery that is either inhibiting referrals or enabling referrals? I'll leave that with you today. And thank you for joining us. If this video has been valuable, we of course invite you to join us for the next few videos coming up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And also, as I've always said, if this has been valuable to you and you think of someone who it may also be valuable to, I encourage you to give that to them. Share this with them so that they can also experience better results in their business and be grateful to you for giving them the resource to help them do that. Thanks for joining me today. I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.